Hey everybody, it's Jorik. Welcome back to my channel. Let me tell you, it is the dog days of summer here in Lisbon, Portugal. It is hot, and speaking of dog days, several people have asked me about beach options for their dogs. A few expats have moved here recently, and they had messaged me asking, do you know of beaches that I can take my dog to? And then a few people that are thinking about moving to Portugal are coming with dogs or a dog or dogs in tow. So they've asked me to do some research. So I've done some of that. So I want to give you the information. First things first, if you like my channel, I talk about Portugal and Europe travel news, please subscribe because I try to put out as much content as I can and as often as I can. In the description box, I'm going to give you a list of places and beaches that are, or at least through the authorities have said, are dog friendly, or you're allowed to take your dog or dogs there. I also want to make sure in the comment section, if you've been to some of these places and you say, well, that's not the case, or you've been to other beaches that have allowed dogs, please put them in the comment section, because I think there's probably many more places that you can take your dogs than what I've found or what I've seen when we've gone to beaches around Portugal. But I want to know from you what your experience has been with your dogs. A couple of things to keep in mind. If you go to a supervised beach, that is one with a lifeguard, oftentimes they may not allow dogs there. You have to check the signs when you park your car to see if it says no dogs allowed. Oftentimes there'll be a sign with a dog on it with a line through, or they'll state it, often in Portuguese and English. If it's an unsupervised beach, and that's one where there's no lifeguard on duty, there's no supervision, oftentimes those beaches, they do allow dogs. Now, it's my understanding in getting information from the Portuguese government that most beaches in Portugal, the mainland anyway, are not dog friendly, meaning they're closed off to pets and dogs. Now, I will say that if you have a disability and you have I'll say it's either called a companion pet, a therapy dog, or an assistance dog, depending on what country you come from, you might have one of those labels for a pet. So if you have a disability that requires you to have a dog, everything I just said is off the table. You're allowed to go to any beach, it is my understanding, if you have a disability that requires a dog to be with you. All right, so let's check out some of the beaches so you know what you're in for when you go to the beach with your dog. So first things first, let's start up north of Porto. Viana do Castelo is Coral Beach. Also up north, there's a couple of spots in Esponsende, Ramalha Sul Beach, and Praia Suave Mar. Again, I'm going to put all these in the description box so you can look them up because I may not be pronouncing them right. And then along the Silver Coast, so south of Porto, north of Lisbon, there is Porto da Areia Norte Beach, which is in Peniche. And then due west of Lisbon in Sintra, there is Ursa Beach in Sintra, that they allow pets there and dogs to be on the beach. And then also in the north, if you're looking for places, there are a couple more in the municipality of Porto in Nova de Gaia, which is the southern part of Porto. There is Brito Beach that is available. And then further south, you have Praia dos Pescadores in Oeiras, Praia das Amoreias in the municipality of Torres, Vedras, and then also Furnas-Rio Beach in Odemira. Again, going to be in the description box so you can check them out and look for them. If you are in the Algarve, something to keep in mind in the Algarve, if you are anywhere from Vilamora to basically the Spanish border, Villarreal, Santo Antonio, from June through September, they don't allow dogs on any of the beaches. I don't know how heavily they enforce that. I have some friends that live in Tavira, which would be in this zone, and they have a dog and they go to the beach, and they said they haven't been talked to as of yet, but the Portuguese government does say from June to September that stretch of the Algarve is not open. And again, something to keep in mind for the rest of the Algarve and the rest of Portugal, if a beach is supervised, you will want to check and see if there may be situations where they are allowing dogs on the beach. The easiest way to tell is the signage. It seems like they're pretty good here about telling you who is eligible or what pet is eligible or not, and in this case, dogs, who can go where. I will say from doing a lot of Google map search or Google research on probably 80 or 90 beaches, not all of that information is there. So when you're doing a search on whether something is a supervised beach, lifeguards there or not all that information is available. My recommendation is reach out to expat groups, look at Facebook forums, travel community forums, you probably are aware of them, or pet-friendly forums in different countries, because there may be beaches that I mentioned here. All these should be open from what I've researched, but there's probably many more that are available to you, especially in the Lisbon area, that you can go to. I will say that if you have rivers close by, wherever you're at, or a lake, it seems like those places are open, and rarely are you going to see a no dogs allowed. So this is just speaking beach area, so I'll say along the Atlantic coast of mainland Portugal. This is what we're finding. So again, if you found more beaches, or if you happen to go to beaches that have no issues with dogs, please put it in the comment section. I have asked some people that live on a couple of the beaches that I mentioned, are there any issues? Have there been any problems at all? And they said, absolutely not. What we have found too is, for example, in Corteira, which is in this zone where summertime you're not supposed to have any dogs. It's right next to Villamora. We've seen dogs playing and people walking the dogs at all hours of the day and night. Haven't seemed to be an issue. It doesn't bother us at all. It doesn't seem to bother the bathers or the people that are trying to get sunshine. We also haven't seen any police, to our knowledge, enforce, hey, you can't be on this beach with your dog because it's July and it's that part of the season where you're not allowed here. So I would say that you don't always know until you actually go to the beach and see signage, or if someone tells you, or if you look around and you don't see any dogs anywhere, maybe that's a sign that there's no dogs allowed. But for the most part, I would try the beaches. Google's not always going to be your trusty friend. Try the expat communities and find out what's up and what's not. They're going to have the most amount of knowledge. But again, you may just need to travel to the beach, take your dog or dogs there, and if no one says anything, you're fine. That's it. So as always, thank you so much for checking out my channel. I hope when you are here with your dog or dogs, you're enjoying the beaches and having a lovely time in Portugal. As always, thanks so much for watching, and enjoy your travels.